selanjutnya yakni sambutan yang akan disampaikan oleh Kepala Program Studi Pendidikan Guru Sekolah Dasar Universitas Muria Kudus. Kepada Ibu Siti Masfura, SPD MPD, kami persilakan.
Next speech remark will be delivered by the head of the Elementary School Teacher Education Study Program at Muria Kudus University. To Mrs. Siti Masfura, SPD MPD, we welcome.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa syukurillah wa la haula wa la quwata illa billah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Alhamdulillah, maybe we have let us thanks for God for the graceful, and alhamdulillah berkat semua kenikmatan yang Allah berikan, all of you and we can there in the program of the guest lecturer from the News Filipina. So the honorable of the Dean of Faculty Education and Teaching Muria Kudus, and then the honorable of Ethel. Welcome to Kudus, Ma'am, and thank you so much for your time. You can this is the second time you visit in UMK and especially in PGSD. And then the honorable of the lecturer from the PGSD, and then our beloved students in 6th semester. Betul? Betul ya? Gimana tanya wes muding tau lah toh?
No, I can speak Japanese.
Muding sama muding? Kalian itu belajar bahasa Inggris sudah berapa tahun? Berapa tahun? TK 2 tahun, SD 4 tahun, 8 ya, SMP 3, berarti berapa? 11, SMA 3, berarti 14, kuliah sampai semester 6 itu 3 tahun ya? 1, berarti harus berapa tahun? 15 years to learn about the English language. Apa yang kalian pahami?
Yes and no.
Yes, no, and I love you.
Yes.
I love you. This is Indonesia.
So I think this is the important time for Edo can join with us in this course, because why we must learn about the language, English language. I think you are the teacher in elementary school, yes, and the teacher must have the skills about how to be a good teacher in the 21st years. Jadi tahun 2021, maaf, abad 2021, kalian itu harus mempunyai kemampuan bahasa Inggris yang baik. Bisa ya bahasa Inggris ya? How about your daily speaking? Oh, how about kok yes? Jadi yang namanya belajar bahasa Inggris, grammar itu kesampingkan guys. Yang penting antara you and me paham apa maksudnya meskipun menggunakan bahasa isyarat. Dulu ya, bahasa isyaratnya gini-gini. Pernah keluar negeri? Pernah? Pernah ya?
Sekarang.
Denmark. Cuma pakai sih.
UMK luar negeri Bu.
In Kudus we have some village about the, it's called Denmark. You Denmark, and then other students called Denmark. And then we have the village is called Jepang Pakis, and then the students called Jepang. Okay. Jadi teman-teman, karena kita tahu bahwa kemampuan bahasa Inggris itu ternyata sangat penting untuk kalian semua. Ya, toh? Bayangkan saja dulu generasinya Bu Fuah, bahasa Inggris itu belum terlalu important, tidak terlalu penting. Tapi ternyata sekarang Bu Fuah harus menyambut tamu dari luar negeri. Nek guys, bahasa Inggris terus piye? Itu generasi saya tahun 80-an gitu kan. Nek generasi kalian lahir tahun berapa? 2003. Nah, tahun 2002 besok kalian jadi guru tahun 2024 ya, 2024-2025. Bayangkan siswa sekarang, siswa SD language-nya itu semakin bagus, lebih bagus. Maka nek gue gak mudeng terus kepiye gitu kan. Oleh karena itu our beloved children, I think I hope you can improve your English language. I hope you can improve your daily speaking in English. Why? Because you are be a good teacher. So you must have the prepare, or maybe you can teaching and learning in the class with the modern era, and then based on the characteristic in the students. So you have wajib. You must have daily speaking, and then you must have English speaking so good. Okay? Bisa?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah, bersama dengan kita in there, Mang Ethel can join with us dari Filipina loh, ya. Pernah ke sana?
Pernah.
Tapi ya?
Pernah.
Jadi nanti saya berharap kalian bisa belajar banyak dengan Mang Ethel kaitan dengan kemampuan bahasa Inggris dan bagaimana menciptakan joyful learning in the class. Jadi pembelajaran yang menarik dengan menggunakan dua bahasa. Bukan hanya bahasa, ya Bu, saya dua bahasa Bu, bahasa Indonesia dan bahasa Jawa. Bukan, karena nanti akhirnya perkembangan teknologi dan perkembangan zaman akan ada banyak sekali sekolah internasional, sehingga mohon teman-teman semuanya bisa improve, bisa meningkatkan kemampuan speakingnya, kemampuan bahasa Inggrisnya dengan baik. Ma'am Ethel, thank you for your coming in Kudus, and then there are our beloved students in 6th semester. Sayang katanya. Sayang. Jadi mohon belajar banyak ya. Thank you Ma'am Ethel, and then thank you for the penyelenggara. Jadi terima kasih banyak kepada Bu Tika, Bapak Ibu semuanya yang sudah menyelenggarakan kegiatan ini, dan Mbak Mas MC terima kasih, the moderator Bu Vika, and then Bu Faza terima kasih for your coming, and thank you. Sorry if there has some mistakes. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Enjoy your time and enjoy your study.
Thank you.
Hadirin yang berbahagia, selanjutnya kita memasuki acara yaitu sharing session kepada moderator yaitu Ibu Sofi Rahuliyana SKMPD. Kami persilakan.
Next event, we enter the core event, namely the share session to the moderator, Mrs. Sophie Rahuliyana, SSI MPD. We give you permission.
Itu apa?
Halo, yang belakang juga.
Enggak.
ya?
No.
Ini berapa? 2. Ini berapa? 5. Pasang. Terima kasih. Mantap ya? Ya silakan sambil minum, sambil makan permennya ya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay, are you ready?
No.
Okay, I want to see you on the video. Good day, everyone.
Good afternoon. Facebook.
Welcome to today's sharing session on K4 learning. K4 teacher using methods in lecture from News Philippines. She is Mom Eto, Joyvi Eto. Your expression. Master of Education. We have our elementary school education program is Siti Maswa, SPNBB, online chores, and start up the test in America, management, and participating as students, 6th semester, and it is hello. I would like to introduce your speaker. This is Mom Eto. Mom Eto. Halo Mom Eto. Thank you. She is Philippines. Beliau spesialis apa ya? Satu nama dulu beliau adalah dosen, ya dosen yang dari Neus Filipina di program studi Art Education, Maya Education. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome our speaker to start the presentation. Kita persilakan untuk menyampaikan materinya gitu ya. Sudah siap? Are you ready? First question, time is yours. Please give applause to Ma'am. Hello everyone.
Hello.
Selamat siang. So, assalamualaikum. Thank you for inviting me in here. Tell me if I'm fast in speaking English. Okay? Okay. Scoot over.
Abijak, ayo maju. Maju ayo. Ayo maju.
Maju ke depan dan bagian belakang.
Ayo maju. Ayo maju.
I will not eat you.
Ayo maju. Ayo Mbak. Ya.
Saya hendak makan. I will not eat you.
Ya makanya maju. Betul.
Kayak kasih prestasi nanti loh. Ayo cepet maju. Kalau dikasih maju ya. Oke, much better. Lagi, maju lagi. Yo, cepat. Oke. Wes, buang belakang lo ya.
Okay, you look much better rather than becoming a sardines or back together at the back. Okay. Okay, my name is Ma'am Ethel. You can call me Ethel, Ma'am Ethel on YouTube. So, today, we're going to talk about joyful learning for teachers using learning model. Okay? Let's know how. Okay, yes, yeah. Okay, first, find a partner. We're going to have a few rundowns. Just find your partner. We're going to have a warm-up exercise for the brain. Partner. enjoy. I don't know if you really learned. Okay. So let's start. Here, engaging minds in classroom, the surprising power of joy. Have you enjoyed your stay here at Kudus? Have you enjoyed studying? Okay. All of you are becoming a teacher next semester? Am I right? Next semester? Okay. Next semester, you're going to be a teacher. So after that, practice teacher, right? Practice teacher, okay. I might share you a little bit of experience that I came from across from Kudus, the Philippines, and other regions of the world. So you can be, what do you call that? You can be inspired to really teach. Some of the people, some of my students, who after graduation, they forgot to teach. They don't want to teach it because it's very, very hard. It's different from the theories that we learn at school, and it's different what we teach really in school. So in the school here in UMK, you just know about the theories. But in real life, when you go into the field of practice teaching, you put that theory into practice. So it's both different things. So now let's start first. Okay, who's this? Let's talk about first exercise. Do you know this character? Who's that? I can hear it. Who's that? Joy from?
Joy.
It's from? I can see it's inside out, okay? You're correct, it's Joy. So we're going to identify kung ano man yung character sa Inside and Out. I think, sino na yung naka-watch ng Inside and Out? The movie, the Disney Pixar movie. Inside Out? Who do you watch? Who watched? Raise your hands who watched the movie. Do you watch? Watch? Just 3, okay. This one. Anyone? It's not discussed. No. Other one? Other answer? Do you know this? No, okay. It's fear. It's fear. Okay. The other one? I think you know this. Anger. Yes, it's anger. This one? Discuss. Okay, why do I show this characters in Inside and Out? Is this? Also, there's a new character coming, this Inside and Out too. So, in here, in being a practice teacher, being a teacher, you can feel all those emotions. Yes, of course, you can feel those. But, as a teacher, we need to suppress. We need to suppress our anger, especially to our students. What are you teaching? High school or elementary? Very, very hard if you're in elementary, especially kinder. You should have a long patience. You have a long patience. No, you're not for the elementary level. You know why? Very, very active kids. You should have a long patience. So, you should also you should only admit, what's this? No, this Next one. Joy. You should emit sunshine, you should emit joy, because I believe that kindergarten, elementary is the foundation of learning. So if we as teachers set the foundations for being a traumatic teacher for our students, how do they love? Learning. So we should emit joy, not fear, not also anger, and also disgust. Of course, sadness is a neutral thing herein. So for you teachers, listen, do you understand? So sadness is all sadness and joy is normal to feel. Okay? When you're sad, it's okay, but beyond being sad, it's not normal. So we have the abbreviation for depression. Before you said to yourself depression, we have the ASD. First, you need to feel sad, followed by anxiety, followed by the letter D is depression. So it's normal for a teacher to be sad, okay? But as a teacher, facing our students, we needed to emit joy rather than these ones. We needed to be an artist. We needed to be a good actress and actor in front of your students. When you go out of your house, if you have something with your family or with your friends, leave it at the door of your house. When you enter your classroom, you transform into a different person. Your teacher Ethel. You're not Ethel from your home. Your teacher Ethel. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard. But you would learn how to be a good actress, especially in front of your students. Okay. What happens in joyful learning? What's this? Please read. Perspective change. Improve motivation. Engage learners. Authentic learning. Encourage autonomy and control. So when we provide joyful learning, so we said bilingual language. When we say bilingual language, it consists of two language. So means bi means two. Okay, mono means one, bi means two. So means if I'm a teacher of a bilingual or I am a bilingual teacher, of course I am. In the Philippines, we use two language, but mainly most of the teachers in the Philippines know how to speak in English because our culture is rooted from the books we have, from the materials in the school are all written in English. So that's why we know how to speak in English. Okay, what's the thing we need to know in speaking bilingual? Of course, we needed to know two language. Yes, two language. I know, you know how and you can understand me, but you cannot speak English.
Yes.
Okay, that's very hard. I'm also learning Bahasa, but it's hard for me to learn Bahasa if I'm not talking to a native speaker of Bahasa. If I'm just learning from my phone, it's really hard because different region, different pronunciation. For example, I just learned it when I go to Bandung. So it's like here, Maturnuwon. When I go to Bandung, there's Sudanese, Haturnuwon. So it's different. This is Japanese, that is Sudanese. So we have very, very different culture. So last year I was here. I was looking for, why is there no anjing in here? No dog. Yeah. When I come back to the Philippines, we are very skeptical. There's no dog, just birds and cats. Kuching, and then bird. So, and then someone from other university, we have a visitor students, and we have a dog around the campus. I mean, not really around the campus, but some places in the campus. And then they don't want to be near at the dog, and they tell us why the dog, they don't want to touch the dog because it's forbidden. That's the thing. We know that we are really culturally different from one another. So if you go to other countries, maybe some of you, some of you would be exchange students at Japan, Philippines, and other Asian countries. Maybe you should be prepared for what would you see in other those. Don't be culture shock, because that's how we are. When I came here, all of the dresses I'm with is long sleeves. You should be also respectable for your culture. So let's go back to the language we're talking. Number one thing, for you to learn bilingual language or to learn English. I know you know how to speak in English but don't know how to talk. Number one, watch K-drama with subtitle. Are you watching K-drama with subtitle?
Yeah.
Okay. Number one. Of course. Number two, watch American movies.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Number three, if you're finished with all of those, I have a thing to share to you before you start loving K-drama. Way before, we're buying CDs that contains K-drama and we watch it on a DVD set in the house. I think back around 2010, 2009. I think I was just 12, 13. I don't know how to speak Korean. We're just reading what's on the subtitle. So make sure, if you really want to learn English, make an international friend. You should friend someone who know how to speak in English. That's the very key. If you're not practicing, I remember this, if I'm not practicing my speaking, for example, English, I'm not practicing with the English-speaking community, I forget. Saya lupa English. So, I think the best way is to talk to international people or native speaker of English or knows how to speak in English for you to be able to speak in English. And especially you understand English. I know you understand but you cannot speak. The main key is talk with someone who knows English. Even if you know split, it's okay. It's part of learning. Okay, what else? Can you add? No, I think it's very small. So this joyful experience can be meaningfully organized. Okay, let's skip that. So bilingual, increase cognitive function. So if you're a bilingual, you can increase cognitive function, improve cultural skills and social skills. Okay, I just learned this number 2 when coming to Kudus last year and coming back and forth for Indonesia. This is my 3rd time in Indonesia. Okay. So improve culture and social skills. So there are some things that, for example, in the Philippines, we have a school. So a school within a school program, it means regular school and then special education schools are combined in one school. So we have different, I think here in Indonesia, you have a special school separated from the regular ones. It's combined. Oh, okay, it's combined. I'm still learning. We have different cultures. So, and going or visiting or improving social and cultural skills, you know a lot from the history. You can know a lot better for the people, why they speak. Some of the language, such as Bahasa and Filipino, are the same. We are the same. For example, lupa. What is lupa? Forget, in the Philippines, means soil. Soil. It means soil. Ingat. Remember, ingat in us is take care. Salamat. Salamat in the Philippines. Here, the spelling of salamat is S-E. In the Philippines, the salamat is A. It means good or means thank you. Salamat means thank you. Salamat means thank you in the Philippines. What is good morning? Good morning in the Philippines means magandang. Maganda. If you put maganda, maganda means beautiful. If you put the NG, magandang umaga, it means beautiful or good morning. Umaga is morning. So it's different in the Philippines. So what is milk? If you said that in the Philippines, susu means breast. Breast. It means breast in the Philippines. Similar also. We have a lot similar here. So that's it. So we learn a lot from the cultural exchange that we have, especially you come from different countries coming to here. Okay, economic advantage in new global economy, improve memory and recall abilities. So may I ask, how do you manage? How do you manage to speak in English? For example, there's someone asking you. For example, a foreigner come to your school and asking for directions. How do you manage to answer the question of the foreigner? Anyone? How do you manage to answer? For example, Miss, excuse me, where is the PGST building? How do you answer? How do you answer? How do you answer? Anyone? Would you turn away to the stranger? Would you run? Or would you didn't hear it? What would you do? What would you do? What would you do? Very smart. She's gonna use a Google Translator. Okay, what if you are, for example, you are in Japan. They don't understand English, for example. What would you do? How? There? Okay. So, my tip for you, thank you for that. My tip for you, if you're going to be an exchange student, learn first the culture, the ways and tradition of the certain country for you not to be able to get lost. That's one of also my what do you call that? My advice to my students who come from the Philippines and going to Indonesia, always learn the culture before coming to here, because we're very, very different. I have one scenario. It's our first exchange student after the pandemic. My students are men. They're men. We stayed at Moria Indah last year. They don't know because, you know, Kudus is very, very hot. Very hot. Okay, it's very hot. So, some of my students didn't bring pajama, just bring shorts, bring anything that is skimpy. You know, skimpy? It means very little. Yeah, it's male. So he go out of the boarding house wearing sandal, white sandal with the shorts. He wears shorts. And then buy something from there and and I think his old neighbor downstairs saw him walking like this and that, and then, yo, why are you naked? Oh my goodness. And he called us, Mom, he called me naked. Why? Because in the Philippines, you can go to the store, buy topless. As long as you're men. Because he bring his culture, he bring our culture to this culture, but it's very different. So when you're going out in another country, make sure you learn the norms and traditions and the culture of where do you country go. For example, here, before coming here, those 3 students come here 2 weeks early. Last year, April? No, April, yes, April until May. So, they told us what to expect because we thought Kudus is not hot. So we expect that after coming here, after 2 weeks we come also. So we bring jacket even if it's hot because we teachers, we respect the culture. If I can wear shorts here. I can wear our usual because in the Philippines, our skirts are like here. Here. Yeah. We have exchange student. We tailor-made our uniform for them. For example, our uniform is until here, the uniform, and then short pencil cut skirts above the knee. We tailored it for them. We make it long sleeve, we make it long skirt for them to fit. So make sure you're very much prepared. So in terms of teaching, my dear students, the number 1 advice to you is have a passion for teaching. Number 1 advice is has a passion for teaching. If you don't have the passion for teaching, I think this education or being a teacher is not for you. In the Philippines, I always told my students that if you're just doing it to get a diploma, maybe it's okay, but you need to practice what you learn in school. Some of my students, I think I think 50% of them are not teaching. They're in call center industries because after they have their practice teaching, they have a culture shock, means they have the difficulty of teaching the students, waking up early at 5 a.m. to prepare for the lessons, to prepare everything, and then they shout, they do this, they do that. There's a lot of stress, they are all under pressure, so they quit teaching. I hope in the future you don't do it. Do you have the passion for teaching? Oh! Do you have the passion for teaching? Oh, I hear. Do you have the passion? Oh, I think you have to ask yourself if you have the passion for teaching. So, the motto of our college is keep the fire of excellence burning. Oh, how do we keep those fire of excellence burning? How do we keep those fire of excellence burning? For you, in passion, how do you keep your passion for teaching burning? And make sure that fire would not be extinguished. How do you manage? How do you do it? How would you do it? Anyone? Anyone? How would you manage or how do you keep your fire of passion burning for the teaching profession? Anyone? You can answer in Bahasa. Ma'am Fazat will translate.
Teman-teman bisa tanya dalam bahasa Indonesia, tapi kalau bisa dicampur ya, sedikit-sedikit gitu, jadi bisa mix bahasa. Kalau ada tahu bahasa saya ya ai gitu aja ya. Teman-teman kalau ada mau tanya, nanti silakan bisa saya bantu untuk translate. Ada Mafika juga. Oke, ada yang mau tanya?
How do you keep your fire of passion in teaching burning? How do you keep? You're still in third year, right? Third year? The third year, becoming a 4th year. How do you keep those fire of excellence burning or your passion for teaching burning?
bertanya, bagaimana teman-teman tetap menjaga semangat untuk menjadi seorang pendidik setelah 3 semester ini? Di tahun ketiga, di semester 6. Di tahun ketiga, bagaimana teman-teman tetap menjaga, tetap ingin menjadi pendidik, menjaga wah saya tetap nih ingin jadi pendidik, tetap nih ingin jadi guru SD gitu ya. Semester 6 sampai bertahan sampai semester 6 ini bagaimana teman-teman menjalankannya? Ada yang mau menjawab?
Come here. Okay, I'll repeat the question. How do you keep your passion burning as a teacher education student?
My name is Lulu. You can call me Dila. I'm from PGSDF.
Oh, you're fast! Let's give her a round of applause first.
So first, in semester 1, I always teman, maksudnya aku selalu cari teman. Try to find sebanyak-banyaknya. So in semester dinaik ke semester selanjutnya, yes. I keep my mood always happy.
Joy.
Yes. So in last semester, in semester 6 ini, I was okay. In the last semester, aku selalu
Always.
Yeah,
It's okay. We're learning. This is learning.
So in last semester ini aku selalu belajar bagaimana caranya mengajar di step-step dari semester 1 sampai semester 6.
So in this semester, she always learn how to step by step how to teach.
Yeah, and then saat aku bertemu dengan I meet the children in elementary school, di situ apa ya, menurutku selalu berubah-ubah. Tapi di sekarang ini, alhamdulillah, passion menjadi pendidik dan moodku sudah tetap.
Oh, at the first time she come to the elementary school, she got the mood swings, but nowadays she already stabilized her mood.
Yes.
Can you share how do you stabilize your mood?
Yeah. Jadi saat aku belajar di semester 3-4.
Also when we study at the 3rd and 4th semester,
aku selalu mengumpulkan bagaimana mood anak kecil. Jadi dari happy, sad, angry.
oh she always search for how to manage the children method, like angry, sad.
Ya, jadi karena itu aku sampai saat ini masih semangat jadi pendidik nantinya.
Very nice for sharing it. Okay. Thank you. Let's give her a round of applause again. Thank you so much. Again, I'll say her name. I forgot. Thank you, Faradila. Okay. Another. Do you want to share another one? Last one.
Satu lagi. Dari mana?
on being a teacher? You.
Direktif bagaimana tetap menjaga semangat untuk menjadi seorang pendidik itu Pak Guru.
Can you share it with us? How do you, because you're already in your 6th semester.
Sekarang Dek Rifki sudah sampai ke semester 6 ya. Jadi kan dari semester 1 sampai semester 6 bagaimana cara Dek Rifki menjaga semangat untuk menjadi seorang guru? Masih pengen jadi guru?
Enggak sih.
Bagaimana menjaga semangatnya itu bagaimana caranya Dek Rifki? Okay, he acknowledged that he sleep for a moment.
Menaikkan saya untuk menaikkan semangat belajar saya yaitu apa yang saya suka, menaikkan saya sendiri.
In order to increase or to keep his spirit for to be a teacher, he always take like his hobby, what he likes. He always do what he likes.
Lakukan kegiatan-kegiatan yang lebih produktif.
He likes to do something that productive for him.
Oh, productive. What's that productive thing?
Produktif kayak apa deh? Contohnya kayak apa? Iya contohnya.
Dengan bangun lebih pagi.
Jam berapa?
Jam subuh gitu.
Early bird.
For subuh. Enggak, terus membersihkan rumah.
Very productive.
Setelah itu meditasi sebentar. Sampai jaga. Enggak, ketika libur doang sih.
Only if there holiday.
Yes.
Oh, only in Sunday.
Okay.
And how to make a spirit? Selain bersih-bersih,
Kita nih
Mungkin olahraga gitu.
to exercise.
What kind of exercise?
Like sport.
What sport? What sport? Christine. Sport? What sport?
Football is
Football.
teman.
Is it true? Is it true? Very good. Very good. How about in school?
Kalau di sekolah gimana? Biar tetap di kampus tetap semangat. Jadi
How do you keep your...
kalau di kampus tuh kok selalu semangat untuk tetap jadi pengajar atau pendidik atau guru, itu bagaimana menjaga semangatnya selama di kampus? Yang biar tetap semangat belajar jadi guru apa itu?
Mendengarkan di depan sungguh-sungguh gitu ketika sekarang
dia selalu di depan selalu berada di depan
itu atau lebih semangat.
You always sit at the row front.
Oh, why not today? Sit in front. Okay.
Apa di tengah?
Itu termasuk di depan.
It's for his view. It's including at the row front.
Okay. You may now take your seat. I think I like this one. It's very sporty. It's very good.
Kalau suka soal sangat ini, dia suka berolahraga ya, rajin.
Thank you. Yeah. Wow, a lot of talents. Okay. I hope it's not just sleeping. Tidur, the talent. Okay. Thank you for sharing your beautiful experience. So let me now share my experience to all of you. Why I ended up being a teacher. I hope you get inspired with my story. So in the Philippines, we are all free tuition. So means elementary, kinder, high school, and then college. There's no tuition fee that you're going to pay. Yes, there's no tuition fee that you're going to pay as long as it's a public university. But public university has limited slots, so you needed to be a good student, a diligent student, and you have a good grades, and then you take your entrance exam. If you don't pass the entrance exam, you go to a private university that's very expensive. Okay. How do I manage? How do I end up being a teacher, especially being in front of you right now? Number one, my grandmother is a public school teacher in elementary, but she's my influence, but not the influence really the main one. So when I was taking my entrance examination, I was just like cramming. You know, cramming. What is your first choice in college? Education. Okay, I passed without even knowing that I put education in it. Which, when I'm enrolling like this, do I enroll in education? Okay, I just enrolled in education. First year. The main goal for me in college is not to repeat college or doesn't have, what is your lowest grade in here? Lowest grade? 5? In the Philippines, the lowest, not the lowest grade. The failing grade is 5. The failing grade in the Philippines in college is 5. So, or what is your scoring here? Is it in numbers? Is it in A, B, C, D, E, F?
It's from number and then change convert to the ABCD. So you look at the number first and then convert to ABCD.
So A plus, A negative, B plus, B negative. Am I right? Okay. Their grades. So in the Philippines, we are graded as 5 as the failed, 3 as the middle, flat 1 means you are outstanding. So 1. So my goal is not to get 5. Not to get 5. So some of I'm not good at studying, not really good. I don't have the passion for studying in education. I just pass the semester. The first semester I passed, even if I got 3 grade. It's just the middle. Okay, pass the second, the third, until I get to the 4th year. I was thinking what I've been up to. When I am in practice teaching, I go practice teaching. The first day in practice teaching, because you're putting your theories into practice, I was crying at the boarding house with my 5 friends. So I was crying, what I've been up to, why do I take education, why this? So hard. I wanted to quit, but luckily, I live with my friends. I live with my friends in the boarding house, and okay, we first fix your lesson plan, your, instructional materials. The very hard part for me would be constructing or being creative in constructing instructional materials, because every day we have a new lesson preparation, and additional to that, you have to shout for your students, because I have, I think, 40 students in one room, grade 5. So it's very hard for me to manage, and that's my first time being on the field. So I was crying all the time until before I graduated, or before my final demonstration, I lost my voice. Very, very sad. I lost my voice. I think a week before the final demonstration, I lost my voice. So I am not able to speak for around 1 week. So I was contemplating if I'm going to continue studying. It's just a few months before the graduation, and my final part would be the practice teaching. So I lost my voice. The main thing in education, our main weapon in teaching is our
senjata utama untuk mengajar apa?
It's our voice. So if I don't have a voice, I could not teach. I would not pass. But luckily, I go to the doctor. The doctor advised me that I drink this medicine and don't talk. As in, don't talk for a whole 1 week. When my classmate was speaking to me, I was writing what I'm going to say, and I don't really talk, no matter what. So I've been not talking for around 1 week. And luckily, during my demonstration, my final demonstration teaching, it was successful. But not good. Still not good for me, because I didn't prepare that much because I have the condition. So number 1 thing also, always take care of your voice. That's the main thing we have in education. If you lost your voice, don't shout at your students like, it's very bad. Just modulate your voice in teaching. So after I graduated, I'm still asking myself, why do I need to take education? There's still a question. I'm still in the part of having doubts to myself. One day, after graduation, I think 2 months after the graduation, I'm not used to doing nothing. So I really wanted to find a job. My first job is in the Gender and Development Office. I'm handling little children. I'm telling you, if education is for you, it's for you. No matter what route I take, it still directed me in teaching. Yeah. I hope, even if after you graduated, you don't want to get to be a teacher, but if you have other opportunities and you try to dodge being a teacher, maybe being a teacher will find an opportunity for you. So I tried to shift to other industries, but education always finds me until I have my master's degree, until I'm having my doctorate degree at UPI. So the story would be if education really wants to find you in some way, it would find you no matter how many times you want to judge being an educator or being a teacher. So through those process, I started to love, I just don't know to myself that I love teaching children. I love teaching and sharing people my knowledge because it's just me. For example, I'm talking to all of you, inspiring all of you here. How many are you in the room? For example, 30. Those 30 students, or for example, I just inspired 4 people around here. So those people can inspire other people to make this living conditions better. So I hope you take care of your voice. Don't get burnt out. In millennial stage, right now, burnt out in the workplace is very common. So some of my classmates, some of my friends start quitting education because we have little pay of salary. They shift into being soldiers. They shift to becoming policemen. They're becoming to shift in the workforce that doesn't include thinking, doesn't include teaching children. That's very hard for them. So I hope your excellence, not excellence, your passions for teaching would not be extinguished. Take care of your voice. What else? Always take care of your mental health. That's very important for teachers to take our mental health seriously. So in Joyful Learning for teachers using bilingual method, you also need to have someone who's really know how to speak in English. I know all of you know how to speak, can understand me, but know how to speak in English. But also, if you're going to go abroad and have your practice teaching, make sure you study first the culture before going there, so you could not be wrong with things that my students did here because they didn't know it. So I think that ends our session for today. So thank you so much. Do you have any questions regarding my topic? Do you have any questions in me? You are feel free to ask questions.
Teman-teman ada yang ingin ditanyakan, silakan tanyakan. Dan tadi ini ya teman-teman yang di akhir, Mam Ethel bercerita bahwa dulunya Mam Ethel tidak berniat untuk masuk ke pendidikan, gitu ya, hanya sekedar untuk masuk ke universitas saja dan tidak ingin gagal. Sampai akhir pun ternyata Mam Ethel memang ingin pindah ke pengen kerja yang lain. Tapi selama kalau pendidikan itu jalan adalah ternyata ditakdirkan kepada teman-teman untuk sebagai jalan hidup, kemanapun teman-teman berubah haluan, itu tetap akan menemukan teman-teman. Jadi teman-teman sekalian, Mam Ethel mengharapkan bahwa teman-teman itu tetap menjaga semangat untuk jadi seorang pendidik, pengajar. Kemudian kedua, jaga suara kalian, karena suara itu adalah harta seorang guru, seorang pengajar dan pendidik. Yang ketiga, teman-teman, kalau bekerja itu harus menjaga kesehatan mental, karena kesehatan mental kita itu akan mempengaruhi anak didik kita, kan itu anak-anak sekalian. Kemudian teman-teman, kalau ada itu yang disampaikan oleh Mam Ethel ya, untuk semangat untuk teman-teman. Ada yang mau ditanyakan lagi? Not yet? Belum ya, jangan tidak. Ketika teman menjawab, jangan tidak tapi belum. Ketika ditanya bisa berbahasa Inggris, jangan jawab tidak tapi belum. Semua itu belum. Teman-teman suatu saat nanti pasti akan bisa. Yakin bisa? The question not yet.
Not yet.
No question but not yet.
Okay.
So, okay? Yeah. Okay, that's kalau ada pertanyaan, if there are any question, or they can ask you maybe email or yes. Okay, we will share you.
We can share.
You have an Instagram also, Facebook also, right?
Not Instagram.
No, that's not Facebook.
Not Instagram.
Okay. I know. Yes. Okay. Just the email. Yeah. So she will share her email if you have any question or also wants to just ask question or also advice. Ketika teman-teman mau minta pertanyaan atau minta petunjuk gitu ya, nanti bisa lewat email ke email. Oke, saya kembalikan kepada Bu Putri. belum ada yang untuk kesana. Oh, yang mau student exchange ke Filipina boleh mau.
If you go student exchange in our university, just approach me. You know me.
Ya, langsung hubungi Mama Etel aja ya.
I will take care of you.
Okay, thank you. Give applause. I want to conclude that from the model that has been present, teachers in learning must appear to enjoy. Okay? Dan kita jadi guru harus enjoy ya. Jangan kalau di kelas kita mau masuk kelas ngajar ya, PPL ya ini. PPL masuk kelas wes rengut, nggak boleh ya. Harus enjoy, harus happy. Okay? If you study another culture or other country, you must suppress your emotion. Maybe example anger, sadness, fear, and disgust. Jadi kalau kalian misalkan nanti student exchange ke Filipina ataupun kalian sekarang PPL di wilayah yang berbeda dengan kalian harus bisa menahan emosi kalian. Bagaimanapun kalian meskipun di rumah marah-marah, tapi kalau sudah masuk kelas harus happy, enjoy, okay? The most important thing is to have a passion for teaching, so we can spread how to enjoy the subject in the process. Bagaimanapun keadaan kita, kalau kita sudah masuk kelas dengan siswa, kita harus menyebarkan kebahagiaan sesuatu yang bagus gitu kan. Ya, hopefully we can become teachers who understand, apply, and successfully physically and mentally. So finally, now we have reached the end of this session. I say thank you, Mom and Tom, as the first speaker, for the good speaker, and to all students. Hello. Thank you so much for your attention. Okay, applause untuk kalian semua. Thank you for support all and have a good day. Adik-adik diminta untuk berdiri dulu. Berdiri, Mama Etel minta adik-adik untuk berdiri. Nanti teman-teman ikutin apa yang dilakukan Mama Etel ya.
Okay everyone, last drill, I wanted you to do this. So what you're gonna do is stomp your feet 3 times. 1, 2, 3.
3 kali. Letakkan kaki 3 kali ya.
1, 2, 3. We can do it.
Letakkan kaki 3 kali.
When I said, let's do the drill, everyone. 1, 2, 3. We can do it. Okay, again, everyone.
Letakkan kaki dulu 3 kali. Letakkan 3 kali, baru we can do it.
Okay, everyone, let's do the drill. Okay, more louder. I want to hear that you can do it. Let's do the drill, everyone.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, I know you can do it. Thank you so much, everyone.
Belum ditutup. Nanti kita foto bersama di Mama Etel ya. Oke, thank you.
Terima kasih.
Thank you.
Acara selanjutnya yakni penyerahan cenderamata dan dokumentasi. Kepada panitia yang bertugas, dipersilakan.
The next event is the handover of souvenirs and documentation to the coming on duty at police.
Kalian mau foto per kelas atau udah? Udah?
Yang pengen foto aja.
Yang pengen foto maju silakan.
Foto maju. Yang pengen foto.
Belum ditutup loh ya. Yang lain jangan ada yang keluar karena belum ditutup. Balik. Oke, silakan kalau yang mau foto cepat, yuk.
The students want to take a picture of you.
Demikian rangkaian acara sharing session pada hari ini. Kami selaku Master of Ceremony memohon maaf apabila ada kejadian acara terdapat kesalahan baik yang disengaja maupun tidak disengaja.
That's all of sharing session events today. We ask the Master of Ceremony to apologize if in the course of the event there are mistakes both intentional and unintentional.
Sekian dari kami.
That's all from us. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
sampah